Your company's greatest security threat? Human error. Malware, responsible for stealing data, to watching us on our webcams, to the theft of billions of dollars. It goes so far as to attack infrastructure and power. Let me give you a snapshot of what malicious software is capable of. Every second, there are 10 brand new internet users to the World Wide Web. In 1995, there were 16 million internet users. That number has grown to over 4.2 billion users in 2017. As a point of reference, there are 3.2 billion toothbrush owners on the face of the earth. That's roughly 1 billion more people accessing the internet than brushing their teeth on a daily basis. 400,000 brand new pieces of malicious software are created every single day. 30,000 websites are infected daily. As a snapshot, at any point in time during a week, there are 18.5 million websites infected. And to blow away a myth, those tainted websites, the ones we should stay away from, they're actually less of a chance to get infected than small business sites. Many small businesses have been attacked, infected, and the business owner who's managing the site doesn't even know it. 54% of organizations hit with ransomware in 2017 averaged a cost with time, employee outages, and data recovery of $133,000. Cyber criminals. We have this picture of this purple-haired kid in his mom's basement just physically hacking away, when in reality, cyber criminals are highly organized, they're professional, and they have modern-day tools, such as testing platforms. These are platforms I can actually subscribe to and launch my malicious software to make sure it acts and infects exactly as intended before I launch it on the rest of the world. I actually have crime packs with business intelligent reporting. That way I can manage all my deployments of my malicious software across the country and see how effective they are. Worse yet, these crime packs come with installation guides, how-to videos, and get this, I can actually email the cyber criminals and find out how to properly install this if I'm having problems. That's right, it's got customer support. 5 common mistakes every small business makes. First and foremost, password policies not strictly being enforced. Lack of employee education, unprotected mobile devices, not performing software updates on a timely manner, lack of investment in proper security tools and software. Today we concentrate on the top 3. Password policies not being strictly enforced, lack of employee education, and mobile device management. Start with passwords. Here are the most common misused and easily hacked passwords of 2017. You'll notice Star Wars is highlighted, the #1 movie from 2017. That's right, these cyber criminals pay attention, and they know when something's active and popular, people migrate their passwords to that. You also know that password's #2, but versions of password are in there as well, substituting a 0 for an O and an A for an @ symbol. These cyber criminals pay attention and know how we manipulate our passwords. So how are they getting in? They're not physically hacking. They have access to the latest and greatest software, and the first thing that they do is they run a dictionary attack. This scan and this software tries every active word in the dictionary to try and penetrate my accounts. If that doesn't work, they go to brute force. Again, this is not somebody physically hacking away. It's software running scripts looking for any of the most popular passwords with all variations. Again, substituting an A for an @ putting in exclamation points, and looking and been trained to look for how we alter our passwords. Here's a question. Your personal information. When's the last time you reviewed the passwords to your bank account, email, and credit card accounts? 47% of people use passwords that are at least 5 years old. Password tips. At a minimum, you need 8 characters in a password. And the rule is you need at least 4 kinds of unique characters. That includes uppercase, lowercase, symbols, and numbers. Keep your symbols and numbers separate. Again, how these algorithms operate, the software operates, it puts those symbols and numbers together, so separate those throughout your password. Don't make it personal. Cyber criminals have easy access to our private lives because to date, with LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, to name a few, we publish all of our personal information online. It's easily accessed, and with a little patience, they can alter the way they look at our passwords and get into our accounts. Another tip is use passphrases. Make the password longer and easier to remember by phrases that come up. For instance, my 4-year-old watches Paw Patrol on Netflix. I could put this as a passphrase with a couple unique characters, and that scripting software would take over 1,000 years to hack it. Use different passwords on every account. Again, with the software available to cyber criminals, if one of your password accounts, such as Yahoo that was hacked, gets penetrated, they can then take the email or username you're using, run a script across the internet, look for that username again, and then put that same password into every account you own. That's why it's so important to differentiate every single password account. In America, one email account has an average of 130 accounts registered to it. That means we use the same username on up to 130 accounts on average. Everything in the digital age is requiring a username and password. Don't make the mistake of substituting comfort for security. Stay away from acronyms. This falls back to making it personal. Your MBA, your PhD, your CPA, keep those out of your passwords. How do you keep up with all the passwords? We recommend using a password storage software, such as LastPass or Keeper. You can download these on any mobile device. You can also access them via browser. They have multiple levels of security, and they have options for ways to make your passwords stronger and actually roll dice or run algorithms to give you customized long passwords. Many applications such as Facebook nowadays use multi-factor authentication, meaning it's going to ask for a password and some other form of identification to get into your user account. We recommend this on any site that offers it. Avoid giving passwords out to other people. On average, 95% of people, out of convenience, share a username and password with up to 6 people. Keep username and password out of email and text. When you're updating a password, it's so easy to email yourself or send yourself a quick text so you remember it. These are published with a digital trail online and many times backed up in multiple places. It's a very unsecure way to share a password. If you're wondering how secure your password is, go to howsecureismypassword.net. It's run by Dashlane. It's secure. It'll let you know how long the software will take to penetrate your current password platforms. So much human error built in to all the way these cyber criminals are getting in to our personal accounts and our businesses. What do? The first thing we need to do is measure who within an organization is susceptible to a phishing attack. Provide the failed employee or the failed attempt with an education. Keep the awareness and training going throughout the year, and measure and rank employee success or failure over time. What's phishing? It's exactly what it sounds like. I'm throwing out basically a wide net hoping to catch something. In this case, digitally, I'm hoping to catch some information, whether it be a birth date, name, credit card, username, or password. As you can see, and phishing comes in many variations. It come in a web link. A lot of it comes via email. It's starting to come via Twitter, Facebook, and text. But it's on the rise. Cyber criminals have found it's easier to penetrate a personal account and a business by tricking people. And no surprise here, there's actually phishing as a service. Starting at $200 a month, I can pay cyber criminals and they will release the latest and greatest software for me to deploy on the world. So let's play a game. The email on the left is fake. Why? On the left, if you look at the from line from Amazon Prime, if you actually hover over it, it would display at amazeprime.com. Somebody's gone out of their way, and this is actually a live cyber criminal phishing campaign that got a lot of people. They bought the domain Amaze Prime. One letter off, tricked a lot of people because people weren't paying close attention. Email on the right. The proper domain for LinkedIn is linkedin.com. It's not linkedin-communications.com. But look at the graphics. They're the same. These cybercriminals have the same availability to technology and graphic technology that all the main platform users are using. They can create an identical email. So we have to stop and ask ourselves a question and really pay attention to those domains. Same thing here with Dropbox. Again, this was a live phishing campaign that went out and got a lot of people. It says Dropbox notification. Again, just a variation of a domain somebody purchased, created the exact same graphic, and fooled a lot of people into clicking on it. Fandango deals. Again, another fake site. Sounds legit. Fandango sends out deals all the time. But you have to be careful on your personal accounts. There's something I'd like to highlight here is in a business or organization, nobody should be going to Fandango. PayPal, something we all use all the time. Now, your Outlook and Gmail platforms, once you email somebody or a vendor several times, will just make the front line easy. It'll show up as Kellen Cowan. It'll show up as service from PayPal. You actually need to go up at the top and hover so that you can see where the actual domain is and make sure it's really who you want it to be. Also, does the email they're sending make sense? So what are common types of phishing attacks? The first one is social engineering. Social engineering is exactly what it sounds like. Somebody's engineered an attack against you or your organization. So if you guys use PayPal a lot and somebody finds a digital record of that, they'll sabotage an email as PayPal or Bank of Oklahoma. Whaling. A good percentage of executives and CEOs have their guards down. While they have access to some of the highest level accounts and payroll, they don't follow the common practices they put on their employees. The term's been called whaling. I'll get into an organization specifically look for executives and attack them first because they have the highest level of access and their guards are down. Spear phishing. Usually a malicious attack against a person or organization, or I've got some level of access in, and once I find out a little bit about the organization, I'll do further research and attack them specifically. Spear phishing. Farming. If I don't have the proper physical and software security in place and somebody has access to an organization, we've seen this in large organizations, they'll readdress the numbering behind the scenes. For instance, if a good majority of our business and employees go to Bank of America to do their banking, they may readdress the IP when you go to the link bankofamerica.com to hit a fake site that looks like Bank of America. When you put in your username and password, they're actually seeing what you're entering, and then they're running a script behind the scenes to push to the real Bank of America page, automatically put in that username and password, and get you into your account without you ever knowing it. But the whole time, they're gaining access to everybody's username and passwords. And then smishing. I mentioned earlier, it's hitting social platforms such as Twitter and Facebook. People are communicating a lot in business via text. Links are hidden in text messages, and malware is dropped from the cell phone to the network. Ransomware. We've all heard about it. What is it? It's basically a malicious piece of software that comes and encrypts things and asks for an amount of money or a ransom of some sort. Ransomware alone last year was accountable for $5 billion in loss to organizations all across the world. More examples of an email that may come in creating or obtaining a link that would download ransomware to an organization. This one is an example of somebody internally. Somebody has spoofed Alex, and they're targeting Becky, who's in control of accounts payable. Now you'll notice this company has a spam filter. They have a piece of software on their email, and it qualifies every email that comes in, gives it a score at the bottom. It also shows the real from. You'll notice up top they did spoof Alex Rogers. At the bottom is from Royal, fake email address. The same thing with this one. And this one, they actually didn't spoof the domain. They just tricked Outlook. They spoofed what the user sees, Alex Rogers. If they would have taken the time to hover over Alex Rogers, it would have shown really who it's from, and it's admin at private, which is a fake email address. So how do I test my employees? One of the ways is to invest in software that can actually be sent out across an organization and copied as some of the most popular phishing threats known. That means it can be Dropbox, the PayPal, any customizable phishing threat. If employees click on that, it will let them know that they clicked on a malicious email, and it'll give them some back-end training. That training comes with reporting. It shows who clicked on it and where they're at in the training that was provided. Brings great awareness to an organization. Let's dive into mobile devices because they're relevant and they're growing in number. Bring your own device. Every organization should document user responsibility. What don't I share with others? Don't take pictures of what should be outlined. What apps can be used? What do I do if I lose my tablet or my cell phone containing company email and company applications? When entering your organization, your mobile device or your tablet should always connect to the public network, meaning the network is secured from the actual internal network of your company. Mobile device management. Standards and settings that can be applied on a granular basis, meaning software I can install organization-wide and dictate what applications can be downloaded. I can remote wipe devices. I can push certain applications for all my employees to use. And best yet, I can make sure and enforce that people are using passwords on their cell phones so they don't lose it, then somebody else picks it up and goes crazy with it. I can also enforce software updates. Many of the software updates, even for our mobile devices, come out and they're protecting us against holes of the past softwares. Worse yet, the last software update and all the holes it contained are then published to the rest of the world. So we have to keep up with software updates. Require a password or biometrics to unlock your devices, and define who's responsible in your organization for updates. Bottom line, we have to quit sacrificing security for convenience. Many organizations take pictures of things they shouldn't. They'll send passwords, like we said again, via text or email, just because it's convenient. They're overlooking how unsecure that really can be. They're also underestimating how malicious these cyber criminals really are. Also a huge legal issue because the Internet's borderless and international. We're governed by national law, which means even if these cyber criminals are caught, they're in another country, a lot of times there's nothing you can do. Don't be an easy target. Do the basics. If you leave here with nothing else, go in and update your passwords. Get a password management tool such as LastPass or Keeper, and each time you get an email, ask yourself, would this person really send this? Does this look like a legit email? And if it's not, don't click on it.